Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to do a video on Tales of the Walking Dead because we got some very big news today, and that is that Tales of the Walking Dead is going to start filming next week. And I've been saying this for the last week or two that, expected to start filming in the next month. I wasn't expecting it this soon. I actually think I have a video that I was going to put out today that I said in it, well, it's going to probably start filming in the next month or two. So that's a little outdated, but yeah, this is very exciting news. We actually have sort of a place for where the set is going to be taking place. And I want to talk about this because actually this gives me a lot of different vibes. And I actually think if this is like a standalone story and it's set in this mini march for like one episode, I actually think it could be really good. I think that the simplicity of having, if they focused on the very early moments of the zombie apocalypse where it was just set in this mini mart and literally you just had like this zombie outbreak and people were trapped in this mini mart. Basically, I mean, there's a lot of stories that have been done like that. We'll talk about that in a second, but that alone could be a lot of fun for just like one standalone episode. And I wonder if it's going to be the very first episode. I think that could be really cool. Tales of the Walking Dead, honestly, could be a really good show. So yeah, obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. And again, like this is going to be a show that we cover a lot. This one show, I'm actually so excited for. Like I am like very, very hyped to see what it's actually going to look like, to learn more about the cast and stuff like that. I do wonder how the casting is going to be announced and how they're going to do that. Because obviously if you have characters like Beta returning or like Carl or the governor or Abraham, Jesus, the list goes on and on and on. Merle, Shane, Carl. I don't know if you could do Shane, and I already said Carl, but maybe Glenn, like I know some of these actors have said that they don't want to return. I mean, if you throw a certain amount of money at them, they will return, right? If it's for like a one episode thing, 2 episodes, they totally will. So it's a part of negotiating, right? People do that. Like if you watch sports, that's exactly all it's about. They act like, I'm kind of done with this team. I'm going to move on. And then all of a sudden they sign like a big year or a multi-year big money deal, right? So I with any of the actors or actresses that have said that, they're not coming back, I just kind of think of it as, I think if they were paid a certain amount of money, they would definitely come back. So anyways, Tales of the Walking Dead is going to be really exciting. And I can't wait. Like this is the one, like honestly, for World Beyond, I was excited for the show going into the show, but I do remember saying that like the whole kid aspect, I was worried about it, right? And I was more like trying to think of like, well, what if they just did something like with Stranger Things, right? What if it was as successful as that and it actually worked? So like obviously I was so wrong, but there was all of this concern for that show, going into it. With Tales, there's really no concerns at all. People seem to be really excited about this, and this one set photo here. Or it's not a set photo, but it's just the set location, like where they're going to be filming. They're using this as an actual location in the episode. I think that this is actually going to be really great. So, like I said, if you are new here and you want more Walking Dead content like this, then make sure to be a subscriber. Also, a new episode of the podcast is now available. It is episode 18. I definitely recommend go checking it out. We do some Walking Dead trivia at the end. We're on Spotify and we are also on YouTube. It would be awesome if we could hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're so close. We're very, very close to hitting it. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that there's a new episode of the podcast out now. But there's this article here posted by Ben Anderson in The Times. He used like this set photo here. He took a photo of the actual location that they're going to be using here. And it says Mini Mart. I mean, the location looks absolutely amazing, right? This is actually going to be like an actual, like, I guess, store, basically, right? Like they're using this as an actual location for at least one episode. And we'll get into the details of what this could be here. But when you actually get into the article, it says, walkers may be coming to Hall County. The Tales of the Walking Dead, a spinoff of the popular zombie television show The Walking Dead, is scheduled to begin filming in Buford Tuesday, January 18th. So in just 5 days from now, they're going to be starting to film, which means that they already have the actors and actresses cast. So that's really interesting. I would go on to reading a little bit more here, but they do say that according to the site or the film site, or I guess the location agreement, they will be filming on this site for 53 days, which, to me is more of like I guess in that way, 53 days is enough to do one episode, but I don't think this is going to be for one episode. I think this is going to be for like 1 or maybe 2 episodes, I think, of this first season here. Like, I think some of those days are probably going to be to set up stuff and etc. And I think that basically it's just going to be like, yeah, they'll film an episode or 2 here, and that's basically going to be it. I don't think the whole season's going to be here. They have it for 53 days. yes, that is enough time to film 6 episodes, but I mean, this is an anthology series. They're not going to base all their 6 episodes in this mini mart, right? Like, I'm guessing some of that time is going to be for setting up and taking down, and then they'll probably do a 2 episode arc here, which I think is really cool. And honestly, my first impressions of this is it gives me like The Mist vibes, right? I don't know if you ever watched that movie, The Mist. I'm not going to get into spoilers and all that, but you know, The Mist, obviously that show was such an iconic show. It had so many Walking Dead characters or cast members, I guess, on that show, right? And it's because Frank Darabont actually directed that movie. He might have written it as well, but actually, I think was that Stephen King? He directed the movie. He loved the cast members on that show, and so that's why he wanted to use those characters, obviously, for The Walking Dead. The lead character of The Mist is actually Thomas Jane. He was originally supposed to play Rick Grimes. And so you can kind of see the connection there. You know, like he was supposed to be Rick Grimes, and then I think AMC just didn't like him, and they preferred Andrew Lincoln, which thank you, AMC, for that, right? Nothing against Thomas Jane. I love Thomas Jane. He's amazing, but Andrew Lincoln is Rick Grimes. Like, oh my God. Like we would never have gotten a scene like this, right? In season 4 where he's just like covered in blood and he's shaking after what he just did the night before. Like, there is no way Thomas Jane or any other actor for that matter could have done this scene justice. It's Andrew Lincoln. Andrew Lincoln is Rick Grimes. Anyways, this actually makes me really excited because I have a feeling that what they're doing here is it's going to be sort of a pre-apocalyptic story here in the very beginning, right? Like it's going to be something where just maybe it's like this guy, girl, whatever, just sort of goes shopping and then is like whatever, then a zombie, there's a zombie in the store or something like that. Or, maybe they're forced to run into this place and then you meet some other characters. I think this could be a really good moment to introduce some really amazing actors and actresses, right? Like the show hasn't done it in a very long time. It's been honestly a long time where we got like new characters that people just absolutely fell in love with, that like people thought were just really amazing. I think the last character is really like Connie, Yumiko, and I mean Luke. People like Luke, I guess, and Kelly. People like Kelly. I don't know about Magna so much, but like Connie obviously was the start of all like the entire group. Like people like to call that group Magna's group just because of the comic, but that's definitely Connie's group in my opinion. Like Connie's the best character out of all 5 of them. And besides that, the only other character I can think of that really sort of blew me away in terms of an acting performance, whereas if he was on like say this show here and he was the lead, and then say he was here for 1 episode and then he showed up in the season 1 finale of this show, and then he became a fan favorite, like instant fan favorite, I think was Will on Fear season 7. Like he was there for a little bit. He had this short little thing with Alicia, and sort of, I guess, earlier on, he had scenes with Strand and all that. The actor was pretty incredible. Honestly, the actor's performance and just the story, the dialogue, everything written for him was very remarkable. I was a big fan of the character. It sucks that he's not around anymore, but this is what you can do here. You can actually introduce some newer characters, and I think that's kind of what the franchise needs, right? Like, you can't keep relying on the other characters. Like, you gotta introduce some newer characters here. And like, the way I see it is a long time ago with The Mist, you had so many of the Walking Dead cast, a part of that movie, and we had no idea at the time, obviously, who they would eventually end up playing, but like, you look at that group now at The Mist, and they became such iconic characters in The Walking Dead. Even if you go back to season 1 in general, when you have characters like Carol and Andrea, they were characters that weren't ever really supposed to be that big, or at least a character like Carol. And look how like Carol is she grew into such a fan favorite. But I do get it, I do get the argument of having like Carol fatigue or like Daryl fatigue, right? I get it, because they've been everyone's fan favorites for years now. We want some other characters. And so I think that maybe we can get a scene like this from The Mist, but get it on this show here in this mini mart. And we can actually have a few characters in there that are going to grow to being fan favorites. I think that'd be super incredible. And I'm really excited for this. So I really hope that's what they're going with anyways. I hope that's the story here. I hope that it's actually going to be a pre-apocalyptic story where we see everything sort of go down from like these new people's point of view. But this time it's set in an actual mini mart. We're going to see a different side of it. Obviously, maybe there is inspiration here from The Mist. I think that would be a really cool, solid episode if they wanted to devote 2 episodes to this. I think it could be a lot of fun. Honestly, maybe it's stronger than like the beta episodes, because I'm assuming that beta is going to be returning to The Walking Dead. It kind of makes sense. So yeah, but I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to give you guys this news because this was actually very big. This was amazing to see. I'll post the article link down below if you want to check it out, because they go into detail about a bunch of stuff. There's actually there's a prop Mexican eatery called Two Ponchos, I guess, connected by an asphalt parking lot. So next to this mini mart, there's an actual restaurant thing. I guess it's probably on the left here. So they might use that obviously with it. And yeah, I'm excited. If they're going to be filming next week, I expect a trailer for sure. I think when part 2 is over for season 11, that's going to end in April. And I can definitely see at this point, June, July, or August release. I actually think this kind of confirms that part 3 for The Walking Dead is likely coming out in the fall. I think they're going to go back to their original release date, start in October and end in November. Just because if you're going to air part 3 in August and go to October, which you're having Tales, which, already has a confirmed summer release date, airing at some point that summer too, which I think would just be a big mess. There would be a lot of shit going on. So I think Tales is dropping in August. It's going to go from the end of August until early October, because there's only 6 episodes. That makes sense. We're going to have The Walking Dead back and air its last 8 episodes at the same time as Fear the Walking Dead. They'll be doing their whole Madison season 8 thing. And yeah, I think it's going to be a big year. Anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.